Let's go with the granny vlog. Is that a Supra? Who did it? Come on! Good one!
Hello, welcome to another KZ650 video. In this one, what we're going to be doing is replacing the front drive sprocket. All original gearing, everything on it. I don't think the sprockets have been changed, but I'm tired of going down the highway at 75 miles an hour and the engine's turning 6,000. And I think it was, I'll have to check my phone. I wrote down my speeds and RPM. So the goal here today is we've got to get this cover off. Shouldn't be much, we've done it before. 2 bolts to remove the foot peg, remove the shifter, and then all we do is loosen this, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts that hold the chain guard on. So we don't have to drain the oil, we're not going to touch the battery or anything like that. I would like to go up a tooth on the front sprocket and get my RPMs down. Everything I've read online says it's about a 500 RPM drop at highway speeds. So we will be seeing, I will probably just write in the comments whether it actually works or not after I ride it. I'm going to try to put this video up today. It's been a few weeks since I've actually done anything to put out a video. So I will test it after this video is posted to see if it actually does something. So let's not waste any more time and BSing and get right to it. Bolt here, and remove this. I believe these are 12 millimeter and that's a 10. And let's get that stuff out of the way and we'll cut back to taking this off. Okay, that's the easy basics. Pull the bolts out, took the shifter off. So what we need to do is, this is a starter cover. There's 2 bolts in here. We need to loosen the back one and take the top one out, and then we can just lift this out of the way. This doesn't need to come all the way out. So take this bolt out, and then there's, like I said, 1, 2, there's a 3rd one down here. Or I think this is the last one. So there's 4 total bolts that hold this on. So we're going to take that off and make a big ass mess on a garage floor. And these are all 10 millimeter. And shouldn't take, you know, a little bit of try not to lose your damn sockets. And let's get this dude off. Stock sprocket is a 16 tooth and we're going up to a 17 tooth. So super easy. Went exactly like we talked. Pull those 4 bolts out and it just slides off. What you do need to keep in mind is there's certain little alignment dowels. The clutch actuator rod right here, which if you watch the other video when I took this off to do the clutch cable, you'll see just how much of an idiot I really am. This goes into the hole on the back of the cover here. That's what actually actuates your clutch. And there's an alignment dowel here, right here. So all this it just slides straight out after you take those 4 bolts off. And here's what we're after. So another thing we need to do to prep for this is we need to slacken all of our chain alignment and our rear axle nut. And we need to be able to move the back wheel in a little bit because we are going to be having to readjust the chain and everything because the new sprocket's bigger. So this is our factory 16 tooth. To remove it, we need a screwdriver. We need a screwdriver or a punch, chisel, whatever you have, and we need to unstake this washer and bend that back up, and then we're going to take off this, and I'm probably going to have to get help to hold the rear brake on so I can loosen this. And that looks to be what, a 20 something millimeter nut. We got to get that off, and it should be pretty quick, but by the looks of this sprocket you can see the wear. That is most likely the original. It absolutely needs to be taken off of there. So I'm hoping this sprocket's not going to be too much bigger where we're going to have to change anything else. It's going to be pretty close, but we'll see. So let me go get a screwdriver here, figure out what size this is, and don't forget, we need to loosen all of our chain adjustments back here and our axle and move the whole wheel forward so we can get this on and off. And I'm not going to be breaking the chain. I don't even know where the master link is on this one. We'll not be breaking the chain. We should be able to just do all of this without actually splitting the chain in half. So let me go get some more tools and move this wheel up and get this ready to come off. Okay, so I didn't have a metric socket big enough for that, so I have an SAE 1 1/16, and that is what you also need for your axle nut. I removed all that, and the chain is nice and slackened. So I bent back the washer. We're gonna try to do this with just me, so I don't have to go get one of the girls to come out here and stand on this brake. So out of the way. And before everybody starts hating on me not using a breaker bar, the only breaker bar that I have is locked away inside of a car because it's the only thing that I changed my wheels with on the race car. So it's a Craftsman ratchet. It's supposed to be good for whatever because it's Craftsman. So let's see how we can get this to work without knocking it off the stand or something. Holy moly. Am I just that weak? Good Lord, have mercy. That dude is on there. Might have to go and get another body in here. I can see myself getting severely injured here. Am I retarded? Am I retarded? I feel like I'm retarded. I mean, I'm sure that thing was put on there with an impact. Yep. I'm gonna go get one of the girls and have them come in here and stand on a brake so I can put both hands on this thing safely. This is what it took. A lot of grunting and hoping that I didn't break anything. I did go and unlock the race car to get this out to use it. If you have a really good impact, that would work. If not, you're gonna need at least 2 foot of extension in cheater bar, but that did get it. It is loose. Holy moly, it was on there. And that should be all it takes. Don't forget our little washer. And the sprocket should slide off. So this is a 16. I'm gonna get the 17, switch them out. Be sure that you pull your rear wheel all the way forward so we get as much slack in the chain as possible. And let's see how we're gonna get this back on. Oh, if only it came off that easy. All I did, I probably won't get it back on there one-handed, but pulled it off like this, took the old sprocket out, put the new one in there, it slips right back on. Let's not forget to put our washer back on. Let's do this bloody nut. And Let me look at the torque value for this and get out my new 1/2" torque wrench and see about torquing that bitch back down to spec and reassembly. The book says 54 to 61 foot-pounds. I'm calling a great big load of bullshit on that, but if that's what the book calls for, that's what we'll do. But it was definitely on there with about double that. So we need to be sure that when we put all this back on, we restake that washer. I'm gonna realign that so where it was bent, I can put back over a flat spot instead of rebending that washer a different spot. It's a good time to check everything else while you've had it off. My old sprocket was definitely pretty worn. The rear doesn't look as bad, but there's usually a lot of gunk in here from the chain lubrication and debris. So you might want to clean that out. I cleaned mine out not too long ago, so I'm not too concerned with how much is left in here. So let's go ahead and put this dude back on. That was disgustingly easier. A couple of ratchets and a click. It's actually a pretty simple job, and thankfully we've got plenty of adjustment left. So we shall go ahead and start our reassembly. Do not forget to restake this washer. I'm going to do that right now. And we'll go ahead and put the case cover back on and get all that taken care of, and we'll just do this as our normal maintenance type work. So should be pretty quick going back. Oh, before we go, I want to show you how bad this sprocket was. You can see the wear on the teeth. It was definitely due for replacement before it ended up breaking a tooth off, but there we go. Pretty simple job really, as long as you have somebody that can stand on the brake. This probably would have been doable as well if it was sitting on the ground so the back tire couldn't spin. You could probably sit on it with a breaker bar, put the front wheel up against a wall or something, and it would probably, you could probably get it off by one person. But that's why we marry people, so they will cook us dinner and step on the brake for us. Just kidding, ladies. When you tighten these case bolts back down, they don't need to be super tight. I'm not going to bother torquing them. They just need to be snug. They're just holding on a sprocket cover, and it's where your clutch is pushing off of. So they don't need to be ridiculous. So like we said, we don't want to go too tight. This is my 1/4" ratchet. And go around and make sure. Now when I tightened these, since we're dealing with an alloy, I still cross tightened like you would do. Snugged everything back down. Don't forget our starter cover up here. Other than that, put the shifter back on. Make sure you realign that and get it set back to the level that you want it. Foot peg back on. So the last thing I gotta do is adjust the chain. And I think the book is like an inch of play, which we've got an excessive amount. So everybody should know how to adjust their chain at this point. So I'm not going to go over all of the minute details on how to adjust your chain properly. If I ever need to do that, I'll make that its own video. So that's pretty much it. Like I said earlier, I will take this back on the road and see how much we actually dropped it. The RPMs based on this extra tooth and the sprocket. And I will put that in the description for this video after I run it. So thank you for watching, everybody.
Come on, boss! Come on! Yeah!